Yo, so this is my hero. He's really showing the resolve of everybody else throughout the entire cast of the series. I think I like this a lot. This is showing off a lot of the characters, a lot of the side characters in the series, saying, hey, Bakugo, Shoto, Todoroki, and Deku really just aren't the three best characters in this entire series right now. Because I know a lot of people thought Shinzo was really going to put up a good fight, and that may actually be one of the most disappointing fights throughout the entire series, since he came up, he looked at this guy that was extremely threatening, to then be not threatening at all. For then the fight to be extremely short, not lasted long at all, and to be completely one-sided. Like, I think I like this. It's showing more love to the other cast of the characters within the series, and I like it. I do. I especially like the Rock Dude versus Metal Dude. I'm going to keep saying this, because when it comes to names, I'm atrociously bad. I'm really bad when it comes to names. Right? Rock Dude versus Metal Dude, really manly there. You could feel the passion in the fight. You could feel the passion. You know what I mean? What's up, guys? I am Double N. If you guys are enjoying, slap a like. Helps out a lot. Subscribe. Definitely don't forget to do that. We're close to 8K. And by all means, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Please comment down below on what you think. Who had the best fight, I would say. I like Kaminari's fight. I'm not going to lie. He's a personal favorite of mine. I like his design. And I also like his quirk. I've been a huge fan favorite of anybody with any type of electricity power. I like Future Lambo from Hitman Reborn. You know, I like Ghost from Hitman Reborn. I like Static Shock. I just always have loved the electric aspect of things. Like the Flash, Sonic, you know, even they got that cause speed, you know what I mean? But I've always really liked that aspect, you know? And to see another character with a cool design like this, he's just a personal favorite of mine for this entire series, right? What I don't like about it is the drawback from his quirk, where if he uses too much, it literally fries his brain and he becomes stupid. So that's one thing I don't like, because the girl he went up against, oh my god, there's so many bandwagoners I saw on Twitter hyping her up. I'm like, come on, bro, she's some side character. It's not that deep. But like, he basically, okay, him and Kaminari versus chick, this goddess Jesus loving chick. He got blown to smithereens. I don't think he should have necessarily used all of his power on the get-go. That way that he could have had at least some power reserve for a drawn-out fight, you know? And that's one thing that really is a drawback from his quirk. He can't win drawn-out fights. He can't. And until he really masters his quirk to where it doesn't fry his brains like that, he will never really win a drawn-out fight. Since if he uses a mass amount of voltage, he will become stupid. So, drawn-out fights for him, not looking like the best. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty upset when I saw the I think it's Yaoyorozu, I think her name is like that, versus Tokoyami. First off, I'm loving that Tokoyami is getting a lot more love. I've literally loved Tokoyami first time I read the manga. And again, I always have to clarify this, and people are like, oh, bandwagoners, aren't you one? Wrong. I got almost everybody into this series, at least in my community. And I've also been up to date with the manga since 2014 in September, when Chapter 1 came out. Been up to date, boys. We gotta defend ourselves. We're not bandwagoners. Us OGs, you know? But to see Tokoyami getting a lot of this love now from a vast amount of people now puts a lot of happiness within me, because he's always been cool. I literally, when the first time I saw him, I was like, dude, this is Falco. This is literally Falco. And not to mention, he has one of the strongest quirks in his entire class. I mean, Dark Shadow is insane. He even clarified a couple episodes ago, if it were to go berserk and let loose, and there was no light at all, he would literally be unstoppable. Like, I think maybe the only person to probably throw him hands is Deku. That's even still a maybe. Like, he would literally beat anybody. You know what I mean? Like, he becomes stupid broken. You know? So, that's saying a lot. That is saying a lot. But to see the fight between him versus Yaoyorozu, I think is her name, who was recommended into the course, that's a lot. That's a lot. Like, she was recommended into the course personally. Recommended into the whole hero class course, into UA High, just kind of like Todoroki as well. And you know, come on now, if you're recommended, you're definitely seen as a gifted student, so it's time to show off, right? Unfortunately, her fight was completely one-sided. The drawback of her quirk, she can't really use it if she is really anxious, you know? She couldn't even think, because she's got to think to come up and conjure up stuff. She couldn't really think properly. Like, she just could not, you know? She couldn't get her head together. She was rambled, and it just ended up being one-sided. Tokoyami didn't want to hurt her. You know, he only hit the shield. That way he could just push her out of bounds. He had respect, and I gotta appreciate the respect that he had as a student, as well as a hero and a fighter. I gotta respect that. I'm loving, though, that he's getting a lot of love. I love Tokoyami. I think he's extremely underrated, and I think this season has really opened doors to Tokoyami and more fans for Tokoyami. I gotta respect that. I do gotta respect that. And last but not least, though, Ochako. Ochako versus Bakugo is soon. Before we get into that, though, Ida versus, I can't remember her name, but she's got the Zoom quirk, right? The chick who's nuts about the mechs and stuff like that. You know, it's funny. I've been reading this manga. I'm so bad with names. You can go back into any review. I'm so bad at names. But she is really weird. You know, a few of my friends, they just started watching My Hero, and I love to see the reactions because they're anime-only watchers. I'm not, like they sit there and they're like, oh, she's the best character in the entire series, best female, best waifu. I'm sitting there like, huh? What? Huh? Like, I sit there so shocked. I'm like, what is going on, dude? What is going on, dude? You know what I mean? Like, no, dude. Fucking no, dude. Like, no, dude, no. It's funny, too, because she literally, you know, she used this fight to show off all the stuff that she could build, to show off to the machine section of heroes up at the very top, you know, watching and spectating. That way they can, you know, eventually take her on as an accomplice, and she can have a good, successful life. She literally used it as a form of advertisement, and I think it's hysterical, you know what I mean? And Ida, being the, you know, bodacious man, completely being unaware that he's being used, I gotta respect his honesty and his courage, you know what I mean? But he was literally used, buddy. You were used, buddy. You were used. He was literally used. That's unfortunate, though, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, she did what she had to do, and then she stepped out of bounds. So reality, Ida, was it really that much of a loss, dude? Was it really that much of a loss? Not so much, you know what I mean? Not so much, you know? Not so much. But now to Ochako. Really concerned for this girl, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really concerned for her because she goes up against Bakugo, one of the most destructive students in the entire, you know, season of this series. He's easily one of the most destructive students out of all the courses and all the classrooms, right? And he doesn't give a shit. I thought it was so funny when Ida's like, yo, he'll go easy on a girl, right? And Deku's like, no. And I was like, yeah, nah. Even the first time watch, I would literally said, nah. Because she will literally get her ass eaten, dude. Bakugo is infinitely stronger than her. You know, his quirk is much more destructive than her. And first glance, you know she's gonna get her ass destroyed. Will she? I don't know. You're gonna have to find out. But I'm really concerned for her. Like, her determination really got me happy, but I'm really concerned for her. If you guys are enjoying, so like, subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments down below and all of this. You think Ochako's got a fighting chance? I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. With that being said, though, guys, I'll try to get a DBZ super review out later today as well. Thank you for watching. I am AkumaNexus. I'm gonna get out of here. Goodbye.